potential fathers get together, you all get together.
Yeah, just
and decide y'all gonna do a sting operation.
Correct.
You all gonna track down Miss Rayleigh.
Yeah.
So boyfriend or no boyfriend, I mean, sex is what makes babies. So if you were having sex with somebody else during the window of time you were having sex with Mr. Smith, how do you rule the other guy out?
Told you, man.
Oh.
Yeah.
You in fact were
Yes.
cheating with that man.
Yes.
And that you cheated with him twice, and he could potentially be the father.
In a world where doubts and secrets are looming large left and right, let's delve into the riveting case of a mother, a potential father, and a child with a mysterious medical condition. All the right ingredients for a paternity mess? The baby mama was ready to prove to the daddy, once and for all, that he was her guy. Let's see how he takes that.
Miss Clary, you are petitioning the court for a paternity test to prove to the defendant that he is the father of your son, Gage, who has multiple medical needs. You say Mr. Asinato owes you $15,000 in child support, and you demand he pays you what he owes.
Yes, Your Honor.
As the story unfolds, we get to witness the defendant's side of the tale. He had been slapped with a $15,000 child support bill for a kid he swears isn't his. She had him sign that birth certificate, but he's crying foul. Betrayed and hurt, he's got some serious doubts about this pregnancy and a colossal mountain of resentment to go along with it.
So, Mr. Asinato, I have to ask you, you owe $15,000
Your
in
Honor,
child support?
No way that I owe $15,000 on a child that's not mine.
He signed the birth certificate.
She's basically roped me into signing a birth certificate for a child that she told me that was mine and has taken me to court for child support. I've paid almost $15,000 in child support.
So, two married individuals decided to hang out, shoot some pool, and watch a few movies. Sounds innocent enough, right? If only enough that was the case. Because when a pass was made, the dynamics shifted from friends to lovers pretty quickly, and there you have it, a classic messy love affair. Fast forward to the pregnancy bombshell. She's pregnant, and he's in shock. He claims she led him to believe the child was his, but the truth is far from clear.
You thought you were exclusively together, girlfriend, boyfriend, committed?
No, ma'am. She was married at the time.
Your Honor, when we first met, we both were married. When we both met, we were separated. I wasn't with my husband for a year and a half whenever I got to see my son.
True.
Take me back.
Let
me understand this relationship. When you met, you both were married.
I was separated from my wife and I moved into a townhouse.
The timeline gets murkier as they reveal they weren't living together when the child was conceived. Arguments over whether she was seeing someone else further added to the confusion. It's a classic case of he said, she said, nothing new in the paternity court. It was a regular feature.
So you all were living next door to one another for 4 years?
No, ma'am. That's when we first met. We lived together on and off over the last 8 years. When my son was born, we were living together.
She was not living with me.
Yes, I was, and I was also
When she got pregnant,
bills.
she moved in with me when she got pregnant because I wanted to do the right thing.
Well, she said that when her son was born, she was living with you. That was right.
Yes, ma'am.
That's correct.
That is correct.
Hold on to your seats, people. We're diving headfirst into the hospital drama of baby Gage's birth. Mr. Asinato, the potential father, claims he wanted to do the right thing when he found out about the pregnancy. But was it all smooth sailing towards family bliss? Nope, and the child support battle is on. Unfair.
I want to get to the birth.
Yes,
You say after she found out she was pregnant, you wanted to do the right thing.
I did.
You had her move in.
Yes, ma'am.
When Gage was born, you were living together.
Yes, ma'am.
So you
in my house.
Did you go to doctor's appointments? Did you
No,
support
he
her
did not,
through
Your
this?
Honor.
Did you go to the hospital when Gage was born?
I did.
He was at the hospital when the baby was born.
Hold the phone, people. Things were about to heat up in this custody clash when Ms. Clary asked for help with diapers. Well, Mr. Asinato responded with a not-so-charming remark, and so the child support saga began. But here's where it gets twisty. Doubts crept in as baby Gage faced medical challenges.
I told him my son needed diapers. He's like, you're such a whore. Go work the street corner for diapers. So I turned around and went and filed child support. That's when he started denying my son.
When did your doubt set in and why?
Gage had a lot of medical problems when he was a baby. He had colic, he had ear infections, he had multiple problems.
Buckle up for a cultural roller coaster, folks. The question of baby Gage's parentage had taken a scenic route through different backgrounds. The courtroom dove headfirst into the cultures and lineages, all about the paternity of the baby. Wait for a second. Was the Mediterranean the magical word that unlocks this paternity puzzle? We shall see about that.
Mr. Asanada, you're not African American.
I am not.
You're not of Asian origin.
I am not.
But are you of Mediterranean descent?
I'm Italian. I don't know
Which is
I believe
Mediterranean.
So. Right.
So the answer would be yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So
And I'm
this
Irish.
is one of the main issues that you feel like you don't understand why he's denying
Exactly.
that Gage could potentially be his.
Exactly.
Well, this drama wasn't going away anytime soon, and these guys were just going around in circles. But baby Gage needed real answers, and Judge Lake had them all ready for him. Let's roll them out then.
Mr. Asanato, you are not his father.
I did not sleep with anyone else. I slept with somebody 2 months prior.
Miss Clary, you had me convinced.
Your Honor, it was 2 months before.
Mr. Smith brought the defendant to court to prove he was her baby daddy. Yep, in a twist of events. A guy was here singing the baby daddy tune, but the mommy wasn't having any of it. Ms. Jones was ready to prove otherwise, and we were here for it.
Mr. Smith, you are here contesting paternity of your ex-girlfriend's 3-year-old daughter, Janiyah. You claim Ms. Jones is sex crazed and had intercourse with multiple men during the time of conception. And you intend to prove you are not her child's father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Jones, you say Mr. Smith is nothing but a deadbeat who will grasp onto any excuse to get out of being a daddy to your daughter.
Picture this. Mr. Smith and Ms. Jones, the dynamic duo turned romantic. That is, if you can call it that. Best friends turned friends with benefits pretty soon, and eventually crossed the line into the unknown. Dumb, 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 da. Say it theatrically. It's a classic tale of modern romance, folks.
What was your relationship like?
We were best friends at first, and then we started having sex.
Wait, hold on. We became best friends the day we had sex.
What? Explain.
Your Honor, we met at a party, went home with her, had sex with her. Then after that, we hooked up a couple more times. We was friends with benefits.
Oh, so you're saying the sex happened immediately?
Yes.
Oh, so you met at a party, had sex that night?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, that's not best friends, that's booty call.
But wait a moment. The air was filled with betrayal. The defendant was questioning everything. Baby mama accused of being a sex addict with a penchant for fibbing. The doubts about the baby's parentage are as thick as the plot in a daytime soap opera.
Did you have a boyfriend, Ms.
No.
Jones? So you didn't have a boyfriend when you met him?
No.
Were you having sex with anybody else?
Yes.
Oh, you were?
This
Yes.
around the same time of conception.
No, Your
That's
Honor.
around the same time.
I was
So
having.
boyfriend or no boyfriend, I mean, sex is what makes babies. So if you were having
Yeah.
sex with somebody else during the window of time you were having sex with Mr. Smith, how do you rule the other guy out?
I was having sex with this man in July.
Well,
I got
well,
into
Your
a
Honor,
relationship
it's
with
a-
him in August.
Now picture a timeline so baffling, it would give Doc Brown from Back to the Future a headache. Yep, sleeping with multiple men, having the time of her life, overlapping relationships, and boom, a foggy conception window.
The boyfriend she was with when you met her, but another guy.
Yes, Your Honor.
Was there another guy, Ms. Jones?
That's the one that I'm talking about in July, that I had sex with in July.
All right, so you say that you're saying the timeline though is off because you had sex with him in July
But-
and you believe you conceived at the end of August.
Yeah, I got in a relationship with
So
him.
was that an ongoing sexual relationship with this guy?
That was just the one night stand. I always wanted to have sex with him.
Let's roll out the drama-filled exhibits. Folks, we've got desperate cries, birth certificates drenched in anguish, and witnesses who've seen it all unfold. This was one wild ride, but now we were all buckled in. So let's see it to the end.
A collage came out.
A collage?
Yes, with me, the baby, and this guy from the motel.
And you submitted that to the court? This
Yes,
collage. How did you find this collage?
This collage was in a group chat with her and her friend, her best friend. So when it came to me, her best friend admitted to me like, oh, no, I didn't make that. Janisha made it.
Mr. Smith was feeling skeptical, and who can blame him? Imagine this, a baby's on the way. Doubts were high in the air, and when you throw a motel guy into the mix, a recipe for disaster. Yep, you heard it right, a motel guy. And that revelation certainly didn't sit too well with the baby daddy.
I got 2 other kids, so I just wanted to be there, had the pregnancy, symptoms of going to the doctors and everything, because I never had that. But at the same time, I'm skeptical. You having sex with all these guys during conception, so it might not could be mine. So the baby come. When the baby come, we at the hospital. Her family members come up there, and her friends come up there. So while we up there, this motel guy have a baby a day later.
Well, people, it was a changing diaper showdown. Baby daddy was here to show that he was the man, the myth, and the diaper-changing legend. All hands on deck, daddy, if you will. He's taking his fatherly duties seriously. And to top it all off, he brought a sweet pic too to back up the claim.
You not even her
Yeah,
bro,
that-
she trying to take my job. Little
And
kid.
at this time, like when we had the baby, I had to teach Janesha how to change a diaper.
I was young.
All of that, how to change a diaper. I'm doing everything. I'm filling out paperwork, things that a father don't even do most of these days.
Drum roll, please. The moment of truth had arrived, but we're not spilling the beans just yet. The paternity results are in, and they will leave you hanging on the edge of your seat. The cliffhanger of the century. Here we go.
Mr. Smith, you are the father. That is your beautiful little girl.
Thank you, Your Honor.
How does that feel to hear?
It felt good.
I kept telling you.
It felt good because I could start a relationship with her and my other kids.
I see the tears in your eyes because I know it mattered to you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hold on to your seats, folks, because the baby mama brought the defendant to court after years of heartache and betrayal. His mind had been plagued by years of paternity uncertainty. Mom was sure. Let's get to the bottom of that, shall we?
Mr. Hamilton, you have petitioned the court for a lie detector test on Ms. Lombardi, as well as DNA testing regarding her baby daughter.
Yes, Your Honor.
You say it is your belief that the defendant was unfaithful to you around the time of conception.
Yes, Your Honor.
Picture this, a love story filled with trust issues, jealousy, and a dash of betrayal. Mr. Hamilton and Ms. Lombardi have been together for over a decade, but their relationship had been anything but smooth. It's like a daytime soap opera with plot twists around every corner.
Is Ms. Lombardi's cheating simply jealousy?
No, Your Honor. It's actually history and reality. Like you just stated, I had to get our other 3 tested behind her back after she admitted to cheating with the first one. So the other 2, you know, it was like, wow, there go the question right there.
Enter the doubts and reservations. And let me tell you, they were as deep as the Grand Canyon. Baby daddy suspected Ms. Lombardi of being unfaithful during the conception of their child. Unshocking. The trust crumbled, and the wounds were raw. Ouch.
Man,
Look at my baby.
Exactly. And she darker than every last kid.
She looks just like you.
with a
You know
bald
her.
head,
No.
and she was a preemie.
This is
Come
tearing
on,
my
man,
family
you tripping.
apart, Your Honor.
Hey, Your
this
Honor,
is tearing my family apart.
I fly in from Seattle. I'm driving home. I see one of my, and this is around the time of conception here.
Now here's the kicker. The baby had doubts, and a ton of it. He goes into quite some detail about where that doubt came from, and that incident turned pretty graphic. Apparently baby mama ruined a present from him, and not in a good way. Uh-oh.
He won't even sleep
Man,
in the same
Yana,
bed with
this
me.
is what I tell you.
He won't sleep in the same bed. We
Nope.
don't hardly communicate. Nothing.
You
Nothing
wait,
because
you still,
of this. Because
you still
he
live in the
denies.
same house, but you won't
Yes.
sleep in the same bed
Absolutely
with
not.
because of this DNA
yes.
issue.
I sleep on the couch.
Mr. Hamilton.
Yes, ma'am.
You're here to prove that a paternity test is necessary.
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, here we are in the courtroom, where things were juicier than a reality TV show. Ms. Lombardi's dropping truth bombs left and right. She's waving around Janae's birth certificate like a championship trophy, while the baby daddy starts dissecting the baby's features, color, skin, and everything in between. The drama's so thick, you could cut it with a plastic spork.
Signed Janae's, but yet he's denying her.
Like a fool, Your Honor. And
Tell
you know
me.
what? I didn't sign it.
Jerome, could you please hand this to Miss?
Okay, you running court now too?
No,
Okay,
but-
Jerome, yes, hand that to me.
Please, I want you to see that he's.
Well, folks, it's confession time in the courtroom. Ms. Lombardi finally spilled the beans, admitting she cheated with Mr. Hamilton's friend not once, but twice. Cue the dramatic gasps from the audience. Now, they're all wondering if this friend might be the real deal when it comes to baby Janae's paternity. Popcorn? Anyone?
Before you read the results, I would like to say something to Mr. Hamilton. May
Well,
I?
this would be the time. Yes.
You were right.
About what?
I cheated with your
What?
friend.
That ain't nothing. You really did that, man?
Yes, twice.
The night I came home, we was
Yes,
outside.
I really did. Yes, I
Man.
cheated, Your Honor.
And it's his baby right here.
It is a possibility.
Well, 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 folks. The truth has been spilled in court, and it's not a pretty picture. Mr. Hamilton has quite the confession to make. He admitted to a polygraph examiner that he'd been more than a little busy with someone other than Ms. Lombardi between 2002 and 2014. Oh, snap! The lie detector confirmed it. How many times, you ask? Well, he's singing a tune about 18 times, and the audience's collective gasp says it all. Trust issues and drama abound in this courtroom showdown. Stay tuned for the results.
You were asked the following question. Have you had sexual contact with anyone else other than the woman you disclosed to Miss Lombardi from July 2002 to August 2014? You admitted to the polygraph
Really?
examiner that you did indeed have sexual contact with someone
Really?
other than the woman
How
you
many?
disclosed to Ms. Lombardi.
And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the results. But hold your horses. We're not revealing who the father is just yet. The suspense is killing us too.
Mr. Hamilton,
Yes, ma'am.
you are her father.
Oh my God, I knew it. I told you.
I got you, and I'm sorry. I apologize. I deeply apologize. And I'll make it up to her, too, man. I'm sorry.
I knew it.
The father she believed was her biological father was now singing a different tune. The suspense builds up as the question of paternity and a hefty will take center stage. Here we go!
Ms. Booker, you say your childhood was full of bullying and pain. Now the only man you have ever known as your dad is denying paternity. You and your mother opened your case to prove to the defendant that he is your father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's rewind the tape a little. Now Mr. Booker and Ms. Gant were once an item. Things were going well, and then bam, a mysterious man sneaking out of their apartment. Uh-oh, now there was doubt, and the baby ma'am fueled that doubt even more.
Your Honor, I raised Lorraine and my other daughter, Rashida, mainly by myself the last part of their lives. Miss Gant was nowhere in the picture. Now, as far as the will is concerned, yes, if Lorraine is not my biological daughter, she's got to come out of my will to make room for my two daughters who are my biological.
Next up, Ms. Gant added fuel to the fire, and in the heat of the moment, and ended up saying something that was icing on the doubt cake. Now, baby mama felt like the odd one out, even with the baby daddy providing for her. That was indeed a pickle.
The following month, Miss Gant became pregnant. Miss Gant had that baby. Now, the thought that Lorraine, not my biological child, was still in the back of my mind, but I'm still gonna be there. You know, we in this relationship together, I'm still gonna be a father, and still there. And I was. Later on in the relationship, after Lorraine was born, 3 months or so in the relationship, you know, we got a little drunk one night, we had a little argument. Miss Gant told me out of her own mouth with viciousness, Lorraine ain't your daughter anyway. You know, she told me this.
Time to talk about the infamous pregnancy. Ms. Lorraine was a teenager when she revealed her pregnancy to Mr. Booker. Despite the uncertainty, he continued to provide for the family. And yet family jokes and rivalries added to the confusion further as the favorite kid was revealed.
This is the only person I knew to be my father. He took care of you like a father?
He told me that my other sister Rashida was his favorite, but he treated me different from the other kids.
Made her feel like she was horse manure.
I'll get out of here. I did not treat her different. I raised Lorraine. I kept a roof over Lorraine's head. I kept food in Lorraine's belly. I kept clothes on her back.
Now, the baby mama was sure she had remained faithful, and yet baby daddy didn't fall for it. Meanwhile, the favorite kid made the life of the plaintiff as difficult as possible. Who knew siblings playing the game of dozens would end up traumatizing a kid? Oh my God!
That she wasn't the favorite. There was something about her connection to you that didn't match her sister's connection to you.
And my siblings knew, Your Honor. When me and my sister would get into it, she would tell me. She'd be like, that's why Daddy don't think you his daughter.
Ugh.
Now, if that did go down, I didn't know that, you know.
Now let's dive into the big BMW fiasco. Yep, you heard that right. According to the will, the BMW had the other sister's name on it. And yet, according to Ms. Lorraine, Daddy Dearest had made other promises to her. Could it get any more messy?
Here's what Lorraine did. I'm having health issues. I got sick. I came out of the hospital one time. Only her. Daddy, who's getting a BMW when you die? You know, and I'm like,
That's Rashida stuff.
that was you. That was you.
Did you say that, Miss Booker?
Like,
Yes, ma'am, I did. Only because Rashida was saying that Daddy was giving her everything, but he told my son that he was gonna give it to him because I named my son after him.
And the moment of truth finally arrived. Emotions ran high. A lot was at stake here. The years of doubts and reservations were finally going to be put to rest, or the drama might take a new turn. Let's see which way it goes.
Mr. Booker, you are the father.
I told you. I told you.
I love you.
Oh,
Come here to me.
Thank you, Charles. Thank you. Thank you, Charles. Thank you, Charles. Oh, really? Thank you, Charles.
The plaintiff brought the baby mama to court after she ended up tilting his world right off its axis. In the electrifying world of paternity disputes, we have Mr. Lloyd and Ms. Rayleigh, all ready to fight out this paternity battle.
Mr. Lloyd, you are in court today to prove that you are the biological father of the defendant's 1.5-year-old daughter, Courtney Marie Grimes. You claim the defendant led you to believe that you were the father only to have a bomb dropped on you that another man was her dad. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Rayleigh, you say you are 100% sure that Mr. Lloyd is not Courtney's biological father.
A love triangle that would even make our dear Shakespeare blush. Baby mommy, the mastermind it seemed, was phenomenal at juggling. Her objects of choice were, though, rather peculiar. And so the drama begins.
Let's start from the beginning. I want to understand the nature of this relationship. So you were in a relationship with somebody else when you met Mr. Lloyd, or were you in a relationship with Mr. Lloyd and met somebody else?
I had just recently got out of a relationship when I had met Mr. Lloyd. Of course, I was ending my last relationship with the other party.
Ah, the doubts and reservations. The beautiful aspect of every relationship. Dear God, so the defendant dropped the bomb on the baby daddy, claiming he might not be the dad. Ouch, that sure must have hurt. Her alibi, though, the Super Bowl. And so the guessing game began.
Do you remember this dinner meeting, Miss Rayleigh?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
And you all cleared the air and told Mr. Lloyd there's no doubt you are the father?
Yes, Your Honor.
So why is it all of a sudden, 3 months, 2 months before the baby's born, you tell him he's not the father?
Well, Your Honor, I was 9 weeks pregnant when I found out I was pregnant. That's when the doubting and everything started. I said, well, 9 weeks ago, I wasn't with Mr. Lloyd.
So how did the baby mama end up pregnant? It's like a reality TV plotline. Baby daddy's excitement, though, soon turned to confusion, with capital C. After the big revelation, he left, but still the defendant had someone at the hospital with her. And don't forget the baby name crisis as well. That was interesting and one for the ages.
He didn't need to be there if he's not the dad. So that's why Mr. Grimes.
But what the dots I'm trying to connect are, when you told him he was the father, he accepted he was the father, but you say that this window between Mr. Grimes and Mr. Lloyd is only a span of 2 to 3 weeks anyway, right?
3 weeks.
3 weeks?
Or 4. Yeah, 3 to 4 weeks.
The window of conception becomes a blurry mess. No surprise there. Was it Mr. Lloyd or Mr. Grimes? Nobody knew for sure. And so the baby daddies took the matter into their own hands. And like a suspenseful movie full of twists, they did a sting operation.
I said, okay, so both of them asked me in the car together. They in the car together. I'm with another friend. Who's the daddy, Chantel? So I said, okay, Curtis, you're the sperm donor, and Mr. Lloyd is the one who'll be there for her, you know. And at the time, that's what the situation was.
So wait a minute, the two potential fathers get together, you all get together.
Yeah, just
and decide y'all gonna do a sting operation.
The drama escalated as the other baby daddy, Mr. Grimes, shared his version of the events. Desperation was the name of the game here, people, and the tension. So thick, now the second baby daddy had doubts as well. Apparently, the baby looked like both of them. Oh yeah.
1 minute Corey the daddy, next minute I'm the daddy. Corey about to spend some money on the baby, he the daddy. Like, we both still seeing her to this day, you know? So
you both still seeing her?
We both still seeing Courtney. I mean, he been to Memphis more than me. I've been to Memphis 1 time. He been down there 3-4 times. But Shantia not telling me that.
So neither of the baby daddies was supporting baby Courtney. Did you find that surprising? Because I sure didn't. However, the plaintiff was ready to support the baby. On the other hand, you would be surely surprised to know how many kids Mr. Grimes was supporting at the mere age of 23. Dear God, in the heat of the moment, baby mama ended up saying something ignorant. Yikes!
Have you helped with this child?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have. Mr. Grimes, she has your last name. Have you been helping to support Courtney since she's been born?
Man, I'm gonna tell you like I told Shantia. I told Shantia when Corey, Mr. Lloyd get out of her life, I told her give me blood, I give her baby love, basically. I'm tired of her playing both sides. I got 6 other kids that I gotta worry about. She's not finna keep playing with this kid. If Courtney minds, Courtney makes 7.
These guys were just playing the age-old blame game. Ms. Riley broke down and poured her heart out. Yes, girl, let it all out in the court. And while she did that, Mr. Grimes had the nerve to interject. Come on, man!
He's not the father. I never told him that he wasn't the father. To hear him say this in court today, he would never, ever speak to me again unless it's about our children. And that's it. It's no more going back and forth, because I have been going back and forth with these two for too long, and it's time for it to end. Either I'm gonna be one of them or neither one of them. And I want it to come out today, because I'm done with it.
The moment we've all been waiting for. These guys were on the edge of their seats. All eyes were on the envelope. Is it Mr. Lloyd or Mr. Grimes? We are about to find out. Let's take a look at what destiny planned for the baby.
Grimes, or Mr. Lloyd, is the father of 1-year-old Courtney Rayleigh Grimes. It has been determined by this court. The biological father is Mr. Lloyd.
For y'all, congratulations. But you're done. I knew it from the start, you done, bro.
Calm down, because the truth is, it's not done.